I don't know that I've ever posted a video this late at night to the Entertainment Guy channel, or that I've worn a brand new hockey shirt made by my lovely wife for me, which seems about as hockey can get, and it's not related to what I'm talking about. Anytime I talk about wrestling, people say, "Why don't you just watch MMA? You should watch MMA." I watch MMA, and I always have the same answer that I don't watch MMA, and I don't really like MMA. I'm not a big MMA fighter supporter type. Um, I liked Ronda Rousey, but I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that um, she was pretty and she was different. Women hadn't been in the octagon before, and her fights were pretty quick. Armbar and it's over. But I missed the entire career of George St. Pierre, and it doesn't bother me. I know who GSP is. I respect the man. I respect UFC guys, but today Conor McGregor decided to lose his mind and go after the guy he's supposed to fight, and him and his entourage through bike uh, security railings, like smashing bus windows and busting a guy's face that was on the bus. And this is apparently an answer to what this guy did to his sparring partner. And I see this and I go, why is wrestling stupid again? So, the way wrestling works is simple. Yeah, it's staged, but there's physicality to it and there's danger to it. When it is performed properly by wrestlers who know what they're doing, it is poetry in motion. It's fun to watch. It's fantastic. And when you watch two guys in the ring that really are very good at their craft, and they've worked really hard on putting on a good match, it is fantastic. You're going to have moments that bring you out of your seat. You're going to have moments that we go, wow, it's not done yet. You're going to have moments where it's really genuinely fun. MMA, you're going to have fights that could be over in 10 seconds. So they could have a big build, and then the fight's over in 10 seconds. If that happens in wrestling, everybody screams they want their money back. If that happens in MMA, people are like, oh, what a great fight. I don't have a lot of concern about whether or not I watch MMA when I see this stuff go on. It doesn't make me want to watch it more. It makes it seem more amateur. It makes it seem more criminal, if that's a way of putting it. I mean, Conor McGregor, according to Dana White, there's a warrant out for his arrest. According to the last report I read, the New York Police Department's going, no, there isn't. So I don't know who to believe, Dana White or the police, because my other problem with MMA is simple. The argument that MMA is fighting and WWE is staged is kind of true. WWE admits it's staged. I really wish MMA would admit that there's some form of staging that goes on. Now, before MMA guys get mad at me, I'm going to tell you this. You get a new guy in the octagon, he's really, really good. You're building him up for a fight with a Conor McGregor, with a GSP in his prime. What do? They build him up over the next 2 or 3 pay-per-views. How do they do that? By not putting him in the ring with somebody he's a threat in that he's tough and he might pose a good fight, but he's not supposed to win. When Ronda Rousey came back after her defeat at the hands of Holly Holm, they gave her somebody they felt she could beat, and then she didn't. And now Ronda's in WWE, and that's why Ronda's in WWE. As far as I'm concerned, the MMA world, the UFC world is no better than WWE in many ways. So again, to me, I don't look at MMA results and say, oh wow, unless somebody loses that wasn't supposed to, and then it's like, oh, that's interesting. So I view it all. I take it all with a grain of salt, and I don't put a whole lot of stock into it, and it's not something that I want to watch. And I know there's people who disagree vehemently with this, but I prefer wrestling. I always have. After wrestling's done, they all get into their cars. They all travel together. They fly around the continent and they do their best to entertain fans night in and night out. And you're going to have your guys like Brock Lesnar, who, um, wrestle a part-time schedule and they get over against guys who bust their asses every night. And it makes me mad too, but most of the wrestlers bust their asses every night and they go out there every night to entertain the fans. And they wrestle 5 times a week. And they wrestle in towns that they don't even know where they are. And they wrestle the same match they wrestled the night before and the same match they're going to wrestle tomorrow night. And every night they try to give the fans the absolute best they have. So when people compare the two, I find that they're really apples and oranges. And a good MMA fighter doesn't necessarily make a good wrestler for that reason. MMA fighter, you don't have to fight 5 nights a week. The idea of putting together a wrestling match and fighting the same guy for 5 nights in a row, that's just exhausting. And house shows, you'll probably get 10 or 15 minutes. On Raw, you might get 5. And you might not have to do anything really overly physical. It may end up being just this schmoz thing just to put over the next pay-per-view. But yeah, at house shows, you got to do the work. And I have full respect for wrestlers for that. I don't care that it's not real. And saying it's not real is just whatever. But as a for instance, at WrestleMania, everybody's excited about AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura because that match is going to tear the house down. And of all the matches I'm going to miss because I canceled my subscription to that network, that's the one that kind of ticks me off. But I just couldn't justify it anymore. I couldn't justify spending that money every month just to get one match I wanted to watch. So we'll see where they go with it from here. But again, Conor McGregor, and I mean any other job, you go into work with your friends and trash the place or throw things at people, you're fired. And Dana White hasn't said he's firing Conor McGregor. So there's a part of me that watches all this and goes, is this a work? Are they working the crowd? Did he tell McGregor and McGregor's people to go trash a bus? Because Dana White can afford to fix a bus. Is it a work? And that's how real I see MMA right now. Because, yeah, I don't understand why McGregor hasn't just been thrown out altogether. And, apparently he's going to get stripped of the title on Saturday. And I read all these headlines and I'm like, it sounds a lot like wrestling. A lot. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. I'm not criticizing anybody who watches MMA. I'm giving my reason for not watching it and saying the Conor McGregor thing. It's one of those things I see and I say, no, I don't want to watch that. I'd rather watch Shinsuke and AJ go at it. I'd rather watch Sasha Banks fight with Asuka. I'd rather watch Charlotte and Becky Lynch. I'd rather watch Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose fight it out. I even though I know the result's predetermined, because I know I'm probably going to get a 15-20 minute match and it's probably going to get me to my feet. But everybody has different opinions. Let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you again soon.